Her bedroom was as she had left it, neat, organized, yet something felt profoundly wrong. Her eyes were drawn to the small, inconspicuous object on her dresser, a recording device, its tiny red light blinking innocently. Her heart sank as she realized what it was. She quickly moved to her daughter's room. Her heart sank further as she discovered another device hidden behind her daughter's nightstand. The sight was like a punch to the gut. Her child's sanctuary had been invaded. Desperation drove her through the rest of her house. In the living room, she found yet another device. A name immediately came to her mind. Raphael Dixon, the man who had been sending her threatening messages day and night. "Enjoy the last few hours with your daughter," one message said. She reported the man to the police, but would the police believe her? Let's see what Raphael had to say when brought into the police station for questioning.
Raphael, right?
Correct.
My name's Micah. I'm with Logan Police. You don't go by Raphael, right?
Typically with family it was Liam, but
What do you prefer that I call you?
Raphael.
Okay. Let's see.
You good?
Yeah, I'll just do this crap. That's okay.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to you about some of the cases that's been going on with your ex, right? Haley? I just got some other information I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
I want to make sure you understand first that you don't have to talk to me. It's your right not to.
Sure.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you do say anything, it can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Correct.
If you can't afford an attorney, I'll give you one for free, okay? Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Do you still want to talk to me or do you want to remain silent? Okay.
Sure.
So I got involved in this because the cops that had arrested you for the cameras or whatever that was in her house asked me to search your phone to help with that. Cool. So I searched your phone,
Yep.
and that's what I have here.
Yep.
And I saw that you had the Cube app on your phone with the GPS tracker on it. Can you tell me about that?
That was for the car.
Okay.
In case the car was stolen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What car?
The silver Honda.
The silver Honda.
Correct.
Is that
That was the car that Haley let me rent from her.
is it like a Honda Accord or would you?
It's a Honda Civic.
Honda Civic.
Yes.
Okay. And so you put it on that car or walk
It's
me through
not
what
even
happened?
in the car.
Okay.
No.
Great. What happened with the tracker then? Like where is it right now?
It's in my stuff.
In your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it like in the box or like, help me understand where the tracker is?
Yeah, I got the app, but I never actually put it in the car.
Okay. So you were going to put it in the Honda Civic that
Correct.
she was letting you use.
Correct.
And that was her car, you guys bought it together or?
It's her car. When we were in the relationship, she allowed me to rent the car from her even after we broke up.
Okay.
Because I needed a reliable transportation for our
Right.
daughter.
Right.
So,
Because y'all have one kid together, the daughter?
correct.
And then, but you've been broken up for a while, but kind of still trying to keep things alive? Or
Yes, I'm still in the lease in the house where the cameras were set up. And so I would take care of the child because she works at the hospital. And so I was at the house a lot of the time.
Right.
And so that was the whole reason of having the monitoring was more for the child.
Right.
No.
Because you were there to help take care of her.
Correct. I've have two daughters. I've changed thousands of diapers. I'm not a sex offender. I'm not a predator.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not here to question you about that.
I just need somebody to hear that.
No, I understand. And I don't think that you are or anything like that. I'm just trying to work through all of this.
For sure.
So the Cube tracker, you bought it. Your intention was to put it on the Honda Civic in case it's stolen, just to make sure its whereabouts and stuff. Didn't end up making it on the Honda Civic. It's sitting in your stuff. Where's your stuff?
I have some with my ex-wife, and I had some stuff in, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your ex-wife's name?
Megan.
Megan?
Yeah.
Did you ask Megan to do anything with the tracker, or was
No.
it just in the stuff that she had?
What do you mean?
Like you didn't say, hey, there's a tracker on my stuff. Will you do X, Y, Z with it? It was just there.
No,
and she had it.
just a GPS tracker.
Right.
So it was not used for a nefarious reason. It's just,
Right.
most people buy that to track a pet or a
Right.
car, vehicle, and I was just.
You didn't ask her to put it in the Civic or anything like that? It was
No,
just-
I didn't even get to that point.
Okay. So it was just in the stuff that she had?
My stuff.
Right. Your stuff that she had. Was that her house, a storage unit, someplace else?
No, it was never in her property at all.
No, I mean, you said that the tracker's with your stuff.
Correct.
And your stuff was with Megan. Like at her house, at her storage unit, at her garage, like where?
It was in a vehicle that I own, yeah.
Okay, so
I
like
had two vehicles.
like in a pile of stuff that you have?
Correct.
Like luggage or whatever?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me about a time, because Haley mentioned to me that kind of before all this went down, that you had borrowed her minivan to move some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
When I was living with her, I had a bunch of junk in the backyard, and then I moved in June to a new apartment, or it was a house with a friend, for a couple months, and that's when I was using her van.
Okay. So this was back in June.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
When did you buy the cube tracker? About?
I'm not quite sure at the moment. It's been a while.
Like before June, after June?
It was after June.
After June?
Yeah.
So like before?
Because I was living next to the fairground, and I just felt like I
Right.
needed something to track the vehicle in case it got stolen.
But it never ended up in the Civic though?
No, it was never in the vehicle, no.
Okay. So do you think that you bought the tracker before, like, let's say Halloween, before Halloween or after Halloween?
I don't.
Not sure.
No.
Okay. And if you don't remember,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask Megan to do anything with the tracker specifically? Like,
No, she has no she has no knowledge that I bought any
Okay.
of the tracker.
so she wouldn't even know that it existed necessarily. Okay.
No.
So you didn't say, hey, I'm in jail, can you throw that on the Civic or anything like that? Or hey, things are going south with Haley, can you throw it on the Civic or anything
No.
like that?
No, she did, like I said, she has no.
Doesn't even know it exists?
No.
Okay. Because obviously what I'm getting at is I found the tracker zip tied, as you know, to the bottom of the seat in the Honda Odyssey. So I'm trying to work all that out, right?
Okay.
And I know that. So here's what I know, okay? So obviously the questions I was asking you before, like I already know some stuff. I'm trying to figure out a little bit of poker match.
Yep.
I know that the tracker was underneath the car seat of the Odyssey, zip tied there. I also know that it was put in on like the 9th or the 10th, and that it was sitting someplace, I assume with Megan, until about, I don't know, it was a couple days. It was after you were in jail.
Okay.
So what I know is that you never actually had the opportunity to use the tracker, but something was going on because somebody zip tied that tracker to the bottom of that seat.
Okay.
My understanding is that whenever you use the Honda Odyssey, you're taking the seats out to make some more room for your stuff.
Right.
And then one of the seats got left behind and you were trying to get it back to Haley for some time. I'm not sure how long, but you were
Right.
trying to get it back to her. And it's weird that that's the seat that has the tracker on it, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So I'm just trying to understand what's going through your mind, like what your thought process is in all of this, right? Is
Correct.
that fair?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so help me understand.
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm not sure how it got there. You know what I mean? Because like I left my stuff at Megan's house, but there was no intent of me putting it in the Honda.
Did you zip tie it to the bottom of that seat?
I did not. No,
Do you have any idea who would have done
I
that?
don't.
Okay.
I do not.
I also think it's weird that in your app for the Cube thing, the profile picture, so to speak, for that tracker is a picture of your daughter and of Haley,
Correct.
and ended up on their car, not the Honda Civic, right? So before talking to you, my theory, I guess you could call it, is that, well, he's trying to keep track of his daughter. Things are getting weird with Haley. I'm not sure the whole situation with that. I don't really understand it. I'm sure it's complicated. I'm sure there's two sides of the story.
For sure.
You're trying to keep track of your daughter. You're trying to make sure that she's safe. Your daughter's with Haley,
Correct.
so you're trying to keep tabs on that. You've got the car seat. You know it's going to get back to her at some point in time.
Right.
You put it on there underneath, hoping that it gets back to her at some point in time, so you can keep tabs on your daughter. That's the kind of the theory that I had come into this.
Okay.
True, false, not right, close?
It's a potential. Like I don't want to say anything that can be construed, but I don't know how I got there.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So the other thing, and I was really hoping not to have to push it this far, is the other thing is that whenever I took it off, obviously I was careful, and I fingerprinted it, and I've taken it for DNA. So if you're saying you don't know how it got there, right? I don't know how it got there. I can make assumptions, but it's not my job to make assumptions. It's my job to find facts.
Sure.
that I would be DNA testing it, getting your fingerprints and stuff like that. Do you think that there would be? Well, I mean, obviously it's your shit, so
Correct.
your stuff would be there. But when was the last time that you handled that tracker?
When I was trying to get it out from the box and get it prepared to put it in the vehicle,
How come it never got in the Honda?
because there was a lapse of time that I didn't feel like I needed because I moved, and so that was the reason.
So you just had it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was always the plan to have it in the vehicle.
So what's your theory then, or what am I supposed to say as to how this got zip tied? You see, it doesn't just trip and fall and get zip tied onto the bottom of the seat. Obviously,
Correct.
somebody did that.
Correct.
So what am I going to say about how it got there?
I don't have an
How your
explanation for it.
tracker that's logged into
Yeah.
your app got zip tied to the bottom of your ex's seat?
Correct.
Like, obviously, the easy inference is that it was you.
That's one of them.
Like I
for
said,
sure.
I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I can't think of any other logical ones. So I'm asking you to help me come up with some sort of other logical explanation.
Right. Well, somebody zip tied it. That's the logical explanation. So it wasn't me. I did not
Okay.
put it underneath.
Is there anyone else that would be motivated to do it?
I don't know at this time. Megan has been having an affair for 3 years with a married man, so I don't know.
Why would the married man that Megan's having an affair with want to track Haley?
But I don't know how it, like, obviously it's mine. I purchased it, it's mine, but I did not put it under a seat, and which is what we're trying to establish is,
Right.
one assumption is that it was me,
Right.
but.
But it's a pretty logical one, you have to
Yeah,
admit.
for sure.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think of other theories, right?
Right.
Because you're right, if I DNA test it and fingerprint it, whether or not you put it there, it's probably, your shit's
Correct.
gonna be on there, probably.
But the other thing that comes into play is obviously I have a protective order, right? And the protective order we're talking about, there's periods of time that if somebody did that, it's criminal for me. It
Right.
looks bad on me right now.
Right.
But we also have a play where there's no established time, even though there's my DNA there,
Right.
because it's my property.
Yeah, and I don't think that that would be useful to anybody. It wouldn't
Correct.
it wouldn't help you, it wouldn't help me to do the DNA testing and stuff like that. Sounds like it'd just be a waste of time. Did you ask anybody to get the car seat back to Haley?
No, I did not.
Were you asking Haley to come get the car seat?
The only explanation for the car seat to get back to Haley, I have a protective order, I cannot contact her.
Right.
So I told her it was the Sunday before,
When was the protective order placed? Because I thought it wasn't placed until
the
you got arrested.
14th. The 14th. It was signed and served to me on the 14th. I'm being charged with 4
That was when you were
charges.
here, right?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And so.
'Cause this would have been before that. Like I said, the tracker, I can't remember, it was either the 9th or the 10th that the tracker was activated.
Correct,
So it would have been before the protective order existed.
correct. And so there's that aspect of it, but at the same time, just establishing that I didn't put it in the car. Megan was probably in conversation with Haley, and she probably mentioned that the car was at Megan's because it was sitting on her porch. That's,
So before you got arrested, where was the car seat as far as you knew?
it was I have 2 cars. One was a storage car, and so that's where it was sitting when I moved the seat, and then put it back. And then just a couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks went by, and the seat never got back to her car
Right.
because we were fighting, and she didn't allow me to go back to the house and all that. And so that's when the seat was just sitting, and it would still be sitting at Megan's if Megan didn't communicate with her or whatever.
Right. When you got booked, did you ask Megan to take care of your stuff, and then part of that was to bring the car seat to Haley?
No,
Because according to Haley, Megan brought her the car seat. She didn't have the car seat until it was like the 16th or something. I don't remember.
yeah. And
It was after you were in jail.
Yeah, I had no contact with Megan about any of that.
Okay.
I just figured that the car seat would sit there until Haley would eventually contact me about it, and that's what.
Have you had any phone calls or visits or anything from Megan since you've been booked up?
No.
None?
No.
Okay.
No, I've talked to her on the phone a couple times about my kids to make sure that they're safe, and that's it.
Okay. So you got kids with Megan too?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I was married to her for 10 years and
Okay.
2 kids.
Okay.
And when you talked to her on the phone here, from the jail
Correct,
calls?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple times about the kids?
Correct.
Was there anyone else you talked to about making arrangements for your property? You know, I'm in jail, can you help me with my shit? Like anyone like that you talked to about that?
No.
Okay. Because the reason I ask is the one way I can confirm or not confirm what you're saying is I'll just listen to your jail calls, because obviously those are
I
recorded to see
would
if you...
welcome you to do so,
Right.
because there's no any conspiracy to do that.
Okay. All right. What else do you think I should know to help me understand the situation?
I really don't understand why, you know, those events happened. That's pretty much it, because I've been in here,
Right.
so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's concerning to me because the theory that I said makes sense. I can't think of any other theories that make sense. You'd obviously be motivated to do it, just like you were motivated to put the cameras in the house and stuff like that to keep track of your daughter, which obviously kind of blew up unfavorable to you.
Of course.
So I don't know. That's kind of the theory I'm working on. Like, I'm going to keep working to confirm or dispel that theory. It's my job. So this is just the case. I have to hang on to your phone.
Yeah.
Do you want this is the search warrant that you have a right to see. Do you want a copy of it with you now, or just want me to put it in your shit? It's going to go to you in discovery one way or the other eventually, but you can have it now.
That's
if you want.
for-
This is for your cell phone.
Yeah, when they were on my phone, I thought they were just booking me. I didn't know there was an actual
Yeah,
seizure.
there
of
wasn't
my
at the
phone.
time. Yeah, there wasn't at the time. That's whenever I got the search warrant to seize it and search it. And that's what this is. So I'll give that to you so you can have it with your stuff here.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put the case and stuff back in your book property, because I don't think we want you to have them back there.
Correct.
Anything else that I didn't cover that you think I should know? Like I said, I want to be fair. It's my job to find the truth, not to
sure.
make assumptions and stuff. So if there's something that you think that I should look at, I want to look at it.
No, like I said, I'm not sure why Megan would go to the extent of returning the seat. It is my property and I did buy it. I did put the picture of Haley and my daughter because I'm a family man. You've obviously gone through my phone. You know that. And so it's kind of confusing for me that that's happening.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't you, it'd certainly be weird that somebody else just somehow accessed your tracker and then somehow accessed the stuff. It's just a weird culmination of events.
Well, I mean, it's activated, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
when I
active.
turn your phone on, I can see it is
Yeah.
sitting at Haley's mom's house in Wellsville or whatever.
Right, it's activated, and so it was activated, I just never put it in the vehicle. That was the thing, is because once I moved, and then everything else happened, it never got to the vehicle, otherwise it would be in the silver Civic.
or
Yeah,
whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you think of anything else, my name's on that search warrant. You're welcome to try to contact me or have your attorney contact me about this. The one other thing I wanted to ask you is that Haley had also said that, I don't know when, it was right around the time that all this had happened, that you'd sent her some ominous message on Facebook about, I hope you want to see yourself on OnlyFans or something like that, and then the message disappeared. I didn't see any videos of her on your phone or anything like that. She's worried that there were times that you had filmed her secretively while you guys were engaging sexually. Did that ever happen?
no, it was the videos that I had possession of were consensual, and she allowed that to happen, and they've been deleted, so.
Okay. So never a time that you filmed her without her knowledge?
Correct.
Okay. And like I said, I didn't see any videos at all, whether consensual or unconsensual, but I just had to ask. Okay. Anything else I can do for you? Or questions you have for me?
How long does it usually take to receive seized property after release?
Because the phone has evidence of the alleged criminal activity, we have to hang on to it until the case is totally cleared out in court in case
Okay.
it's needed for evidence.
For sure.
So whenever all your charges are cleared up, whether they're dismissed or pled or found guilty or not guilty, whatever the hell
sure.
it is, then I can release it. It'll just be at Logan City Police up
Okay.
until then, okay? And probably, even if there's not new charges for what you and I are talking about for the tracker now, there was evidence of the cameras and stuff for the other cop's case. So I would probably just wait until that case is
For
finished.
sure, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, and it was Detective Dinzel that filed the report, correct?
No, there was a couple. I think it was Jensen. I had booked you on the phones, on the cameras, and then somebody else on the
Okay.
call protective order thing. This is kind of a couple things. So,
Yeah.
I don't remember Denzel.
Right. Because he came to he came to Haley's house the previous Tuesday, because they were suspicious of a tracking device, a trail cam, and they felt that it was pinging around Haley's house.
Oh,
And so they stopped there, I think, the Tuesday before. So I figured that Haley would have contacted him when when they found the bling system.
right. Okay. Yeah, Haley had called us, or me rather. It's a little bit before Christmas. It was after you were booked up into jail. And that's why I just needed some time to search the phone and get that tracker out of the car and stuff like that. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, man. I'll get you back up. Let's just go back over the stairs. Show it. Yep.
Third floor, you guys want back there?
Raphael Dixon was sentenced to half a year in jail for stalking, voyeurism, and the attempted implanting of an electronic device.